Mr. President, America has lost today, or the world has lost today, a great man in Billy Graham. But as he said, and as Senator Thune said in his own remarks in quoting Billy Graham, don't grieve for Billy Graham. He's not gone anywhere except to be at the right hand of his God, the Father Almighty, at home in heaven. He's left us, but he's in heaven, and for his entire life, 99 years, he witnessed on behalf of that place called heaven and his Father, God, to try and take his message around the world and to the people of the world. Now, I spend a lot of time working with young people, and when I do, I work with them many times in my church. I've taught Sunday school for 30 years. That's a hard challenge sometimes, trying to figure out what it is you're going to do to get through to people, and especially young people. But I learned from Billy Graham that the best way to teach people about God is to witness for God. And Billy Graham was the preeminent witness for faith that there ever was. You know, we all can turn on TV tonight and find a televangelist who for $25 donation will send you a Bible, a cross, and tell you you're saved. That's not true. You may be saved from him, but you haven't been saved with Jesus. Billy Graham lived the kind of life to teach all of us to be that we should respect and understand and honor what Jesus Christ stands for and what Christianity means, and we should live the life as an example to others of what it's like to be a Christian. In the sadness of the loss of Billy Graham, I'm reminded of the book of Thessalonians and Paul's letter to the Thessalonians, where in two of the shortest verses in the Bible, he says, "Rejoice evermore and pray without ceasing." And I think we're in that period of time right now in terms of Billy Graham's life. We should rejoice for the great service that he gave to all of us, the great message he brought in his crusades around the world. And we should pray without ceasing that the world will continue to be blessed by God and by great people like Billy Graham and those who will follow him. And that we will do in our small way the witness that we need to do to see to it that we are disciples for that faith and for Jesus Christ. Now, for me, coming to the floor today, I have an important task. Because witness and evangelism is about other people taking the message for other folks. Back in my home state of Georgia, in my neighborhood in East Cobb County, there's a man by the name of Henry Holly. And I want to, in my few minutes left, honor Henry Holly because he's an interesting individual. He's a former, although there are no such thing as former Marines, he was a United States Marine for 22 years and met Dr. Graham at a crusade. Volunteered to help him in his off-duty time. And so impressed Dr. Graham that Billy Graham asked him to join his crusade. He said, "I can't do it right now. I've got 2 more years of my commitment," but Billy Graham told him, "If you'll come to me at the end of those 2 years, I'll put you on our team." And 48 years ago, Henry Holly joined the team of Billy Graham. He became his Asian representative. In fact, today, Henry Holly is the last of the original Billy Graham team left alive on this earth. Henry's 90 years old, living in East Cobb County, and witnessing every single day for all that he learned from Dr. Graham and for what the Billy Graham crusade meant to him. They set up crusades in Rio de Janeiro, in Seoul, South Korea, all over the world. Henry Holly's been in and out of North Korea more than anybody in this country. He goes there with Samaritan's Purse to help people who are oppressed, taking the message of Jesus Christ, working to do everything he can to improve the plight of people who are suppressed and depressed by a rogue regime. Henry Holly is one of the finest people I've ever known. And I know when Dr. Graham passed away, Henry was not sad but happy because he'd always talked about knowing that ultimately Billy Graham's place in heaven would be his just reward. And Henry could not wait that he could join Billy Graham there so they could be together again. So I know Henry's probably watching, or if he isn't watching, somebody will tell him about me mentioning his name. But I'm doing it to honor Henry, but also to honor Billy Graham. Because the one-on-one passing of the word from me to someone else, from Henry Holly to someone else, from Dr. Graham to someone else, is the way Christianity was built over the decades and over the years and will continue to be preserved in the years to come. So as we honor in the United States Senate and in the United States of America, a great man, a great leader, a man of God and a servant of God, I am just so thankful I had the opportunity to be in this chamber on the day we honored Billy Graham in his life. And I'm so happy that I had the ability and the opportunity to know his servant, Henry Holly, and be one of those along the way that Henry helped to live a more responsible and loving life.